kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Totally kidding.
This is the last one.
Yes.
Every year, I think when the Lord impresses on us a vision statement or a vision phrase, it always kind of comes back to some of these same themes: stand firm, brick by brick. They really are all summed up with this thought, play the long game. That phrase, it gets used a lot, especially gets used when we have family dinners. Family dinners are just moments where people open up their homes, there's a meal, and people from church, from all different walks of life, gather in a house, and somewhere in the night, the party stops, the music's turned off, and someone gets up and just says, hey, can we just take a moment, and can we thank God? Anyone have any stories from today at church? And one of my favorite moments that happens at family dinners is when someone raises their hand and says, hey, I actually have a story. There's been somebody I've been inviting to church for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years. And today they finally came. And the story just ends with they just came to church. And typically when that story happens, we always go, let's clap, let's celebrate. Why? Because at VOUS Church, we play the long game.
5 years have come and gone. Each year, another room in the house, another miracle in the books, another layer in the foundation, and another brick in the wall. The mission of our lives is a work of art, but the canvas is too vast for any one set of eyes. Each year offers a glimpse of a new piece of the picture, another small portion of the bigger vision. We can't see what's ahead, so we fix our eyes on the one who can.
In January of 2017, I was diagnosed with cancer. I was born with a birth defect. It's caused a lot of vision problems for me. I didn't realize it was actually preparing me for the real trial that I was going to be facing years down the road.
Ballet was my life. It was my passion. It's what I thought I was going to do for the rest of my life. One day I landed from a jump and my foot just completely gave out. From that point forward, it never fully healed.
That year, I had lost my father 2 years prior to that, and I had a brother. He had suffered from a brain tumor. He had died that summer. And between that, him passing, then right about the same time, Donna became sick.
I went through 6 months of a nightmare to not even get a positive result. So the doctors, they said, we'll go through this last resort with you. It's called a stem cell transplant. It's a very rigorous chemotherapy that will have you hospitalized for a month. You're basically wiping out your entire immune system to where you'll be reverted back to an infant.
When he said, have you ever been tested for HIV or AIDS? And I said, there's no reason to test me. They had 4 different doctors come in, and it was just John and I. And when they came in, they just told me, you need to get your stuff in order.
Get your affairs in order. I remember. Yeah, get your affairs in order.
VOUS Church started 5 years ago as a conversation. And that conversation, over time, has turned into a community. And I think community is God's answer to the pain in this world. The stories of VOUS Church are what keep us looking ahead with faith in our heart, because it's not our strength that creates the story. It's the power of God.
With each new year comes a new challenge. But if we never face the impossible, how can we see the miraculous?
It's the challenges of life that cause us to rise.
It's the difficulty that stretches us to get stronger.
It's the obstacles that teach us to overcome.
It's the suffering that dares us to endure.
I was just in a really bad depression. I refused to get out of bed. One day my roommate was like, "You're coming to church with me." And that first Sunday is the day that I gave my life to Jesus. I don't think I would have been able to get through quitting and the heartbreak of it if I didn't know who Jesus was.
If the VOUS community wasn't there to have my back, I don't know where I'd be. VOUS Church was praying for me daily. That's what's giving me the strength to continue to have the fight, to keep pushing through and getting to the point of being healed and being delivered.
One doctor just made it really clear, nobody has the answer.
I look at it as we can only control today. So let's do what we can today. Tomorrow, we'll deal with tomorrow. God changed our lives, changed my attitude, changed our thoughts,
and 6 months came, then a year came, then another year
and I remember secretly in my own brain, I'm thinking, man, if I could do a deal right now with God and just get 5 years, I'd do it. I was thinking I'd do it. Many years later, I don't even know she's sick.
I'll never forget that first Sunday, loading in and people showing up, and literally from the day that we launched, we've just sensed the wind of heaven behind us.
You belong! God says I've got more! God says there's a world out there. All you gotta do is step in, and you belong.
We honestly were not involved with church before coming to Miami. We knew we wanted to find a church home. There's so many different facets that attracted us. You kind of realize it a few months later, like once I started to serve, of just how excellent everything was. I walked in without any distractions, and I realized that this was because of hundreds of people that are dedicated each Sunday to make each area as perfect as it can be.
We not only found friends, but we felt at home.
I never had friends or a community like this. They're there in my corner, backing me up, supporting me, praying for me, really helping me become who I'm supposed to be.
I think what I get excited about is that maybe someone's coming to VOUS Church right now, and this is their first year, which is our 5th year, and they can look around at VOUS and say, whoa, it seems like it's so established, or it seems like it's so structured, or it's so organized, or there's so many people. But in reality, I think that God's looking at it and saying, no, you are just at the beginning. People are invited into that same story that began 5 years ago.
Really being a part of VOUS showed me that you need people in your life who are gonna fight with you, and just having that community who's gonna help you, uplift you, encourage you is really essential. You need that. We all need that.
Life is not meant to be done alone.
It's real easy to talk the talk, but when you see people walking the walk, it's a different story, and that's what we see at VOUS Church.
I don't want to sell out to play the short game. What's the short game? Short-term gratification, immediate results, that I have to measure everything from a visible standpoint. I don't think God works that way.
The term playing the long game speaks to everyone, whatever season you're in. All of us can understand that our life, well, it's about so much more than just the present.
Some of God's greatest miracles you can't measure, and they're not visible. They happen over time. We don't serve the God of seconds. We serve the God of seasons. Even the story of Jesus, it's a 2,000-year-old story that is still unfolding. God plays the long game. I want to be committed to a city, not for a campaign, not for a one-year idea. I want to play the long game. I want to give my life to building this church.
Victory is not for those that go the hardest. It's for those that go the longest. So we play the long game.
The long game of knowing
there is more than the moment.
The long game of enduring present pain for future purpose.
The long game of looking beyond what we now see.
God can heal our brokenness. He can fill our emptiness, and He can use our weakness. All we have to give Him is time.